Welcome to your next step up the self-publishing mountain.
I'm Matilda Swift, author of quintessentially British cozy mysteries.
And I'm Samantha Cummings, author of young adult books about magic, myths and monsters.
I've written the books,
Changed their covers,
tweaked their blurbs,
tried tools from a dozen ads courses.
and I'm still not seeing success.
Now, we're working together to plot and plan our way from barely making ends meet to pulling in a living wage.
Join us on our journey where we'll be mastering the pen to snag that paycheck. Hello and welcome to Pen to Paycheck Authors Podcast. I'm Matilda Swift, here with my co-host Samantha Cummings, and we're here today to write our way to financial success. We're two indie authors with over a dozen books between us and still a long way to go towards a quit the day job dream. If that sounds familiar, listen along for our Mastery Through Missteps journey. Each week we cover a topic to help along the way. This week's topic is between launch promos. Once again, we're not doing a win or whinge of the week this week. We're doing an indie author conversation prompt. Let's do a genre specific one this time. And I'm going to start with you, Sam. Is there a typical publishing pace in your genre? And does that work for you?
There is. A lot of people that I tend to comp myself with do about 3 to 4 books a year, I've noticed, and is actually in line. This is a good question because it's in line with what our topic is today, because they're releasing things like regular books in their series, but also like translations and box sets. So about 4 books a year, and maybe more, because people who are like doing the sorts of series that I'm doing are doing longer series. It doesn't work for me at this point in my life. I can't see myself doing more than 2 books a year right now because like 9 to 5 job is like very limiting on my time. I have a system set up where I can write and publish, and 2 is like literally the maximum. That's all I can think of right now. So I would love to do more, but no, what they're doing I cannot do. How about you?
I think that a lot of cozy authors, because people tend to write long series, it's easier to have a number of books out a year. Like you get into a real drive with it, and there's not the same arc that there are in fantasy books. So you're writing with like a quite clear specific constraint, and you're trying to solve a mystery in each book. So I think they're faster to write. Also, quite a lot of people write short books, whereas you're writing like 120,000 words. I'm writing 40,000 words.
Yeah.
So I think there's a variety. I would say the minimum that you want to get is probably 4. But people who are big are definitely doing more than that. Like really, really, I think you could not be successful without quite a set out strategy unless you're doing ideally more than 4 books a year. I would say you're looking at least 6. People who are at the bigger end of the scale. And not necessarily 6 every year. It might be that some people are doing slightly fewer one year, slightly more the next, so it maybe evens out. But I think definitely it's the sort of thing of like the more the better. There are some people who have multiple pen names who publish a book a month in each pen name, and it's not necessarily a content farm. Like some people are just really, really fast writers, and because they're writing in a relatively formulaic way, like it's like a mystery of the week. Like you can do that if you get into a habit with the same series. There are people who are publishing dozens of books a year, which is not for me. Definitely, like we said last episode, I think actually the shorter the book is, the faster I find it to write, like disproportionately so. So I am trying to write a series at the moment that is about 42,000 words per book, which is more than it takes me less than half the time it would to write an 8,000 word book, just because I can kind of keep all the threads going in my mind at once. So I am trying to do that as a way to speed up and get more books out each year. I think I had 1 book out last year, and I was prepping for this year, and also like last year was kind of like a mindset year. It felt like kind of a tail end for pandemic stuff. So taking that into account, I am doing 7 this year, but I don't think I'm necessarily saying I could do 8 over 2 years. I think I could do more than 8 over 2 years. I think last year was an unusual year. But I will also have or I could do this year. I'm not quite sure I'm going to publish it this year, but I could do a box set as well. And I'm not going to factor translation to that because I think that's a whole different market. It's a whole different kind of counting system. So one of the books is co-written, and one of the books is a novella. So I think in theory, if I put the box out this year, which I could do, I could have 8 things out this year, which feels insane because I also have a job. But that is 5 short books, a novella, a box set, and a co-written book. So definitely, and much of that was written last year. Not most, but much. So I wouldn't be able to repeat it next year, but I could definitely do 4 next year at a minimum. And if I'd push the box set to next year, that's another one to come out and things like that. So I feel like if I were working full time, I would like to get to stage more regular releases than 4 a year. I think I would like to go to get 6. I am about to go on a retreat. I don't know if I mentioned off to Greek Island for a retreat. Just get another little smug mention that in because soon I'm back in rainy old England.
Mm.
Uh, and when I'm on a retreat, I find it unbelievably productive. So I have one that I did last year in September that we're doing again this year that you and I are both going on. That is in fact, this year it's in an abbey, like an actual abbey
Yeah,
or a monastery. I can't remember which one. It's an abbey.
I think it's an
Um,
abbey.
so, and last year it was in just an Airbnb. So I feel like this year I'll be even more productive. And
Mm-hmm.
in that, I wrote, in a matter of days, like 20,000 words. And that was adapting and kind of editing old words, but into a very new format. And then this year I'm about to go to Greece and we're there for slightly more than a week. And I definitely want to do a novella of over 20,000 words. And I want to make a good start on a novel because I find it very productive to be in like a short, sharp writing time. And I think I want to take that forwards in future and write more books, which does lead into today's topic because I would like to have fewer between launch months because I don't know what to
Yes.
do about between launch
Yep.
promos.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, that nicely segues us into the topic of the week.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about between launch promos. So even though we've just talked about it, what do we mean by that? And do you do any?
Mm. I can't quite remember how we got this topic on the list. I think it was because we both know that we don't do it and we need to talk about it.
Yes.
Uh, so it is just I think as well, I'd listened to some podcast where somebody was talking about wanting to have something in their schedule once a month. And I was like, yeah, of course you have something in your schedule once a month. That makes absolute sense. And I don't do that. And it could be a launch, it could be a box set, it could be a promo. It feels like it takes more organization than I have in my system right now. So it
Mm-hmm.
is just something that feels big, like a launch feels big, that isn't just like continuously running Amazon ads or Facebook ads. An actual event style thing that you do once a month as a way to push your front of backlist.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I don't do it with any consistency, so it'd be good to have a chat about what we can do. Do you do
Yeah.
anything?
I do not know. I think we all know that I am definitely always the naughty girl in this group.
This is not a bullying episode today.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we bully each other. No, I don't.
Mhm.
But only because obviously over the years that I've been publishing, I have never stuck to one thing. I've always jumped between series and genres. And this is
Mhm.
the first time where, like, this month is the first time I'll be finishing a series. And, like, going forwards, I'm only going to be doing series in the same genre. So I've never really had the opportunity to do anything in between book launches because
Mhm.
I was never giving it much thought or paying it any kind of attention. But I definitely see the benefit. Like, obviously, every month should be something happening because
Mhm.
you don't want your business to still. You want to keep the excitement going and you want to always be a place where people can find stuff. I wrote or drew myself a little diagram of
Mhm.
how I thought it would work, and I still don't know if I understand my own like
This is one I've
drawing.
seen. It's got a lot of arrows and boxes in that I don't know how it could be a launch,
There's
a
arrows,
promo
and
plan.
and I took a picture of this and I put it into Notebook LM, and I said,
Mhm.
"What do you make of this?" And it was like, "Well, it looks like you're trying to do like a process flow for publication," and I was like, "I am." But
Mhm.
tell me, how can I make this better? And it was like, I can't tell you how to make this better other than I can just tell you what you've put. So it's
Just
just
do it
like,
better. Just
yeah,
do a better job.
regurgitated what I'd put,
Don't
which
be
is like, yeah,
rubbish.
yeah. So yeah, in this little process flow that I drew, it was basically if I've got 3 books coming out, what I can do in between and after and stuff releasing books. And it's just things like when you release a book, you do a promo, put it on promo sites, you have like a cold short story and or cold novella as we call it, and then like a warm novella. And it's just basically what we've been talking about. So I just had to draw this to get my mind to. I really am a visual person, and I have to see. This is why my wall is covered in post-its. It's like I have to see a process. I can visualize it, but I have to actually see it physically in front of me. So I drew this.
You have to be in the map.
I have to be in the map. That is, I say
It's
that
like
a
a real
lot.
contemporary Friends reference.
I say that a lot to people. Like I do need to be in the map. Yeah, so in order to understand it. So, whereas that diagram doesn't actually help, and it doesn't give any real. It's not in depth. It's just that I've drawn an image that shows that in between books 1, 2, and 3 of this of this thing that I'm doing, things need to happen. And that's what we're here to talk about today.
Yeah, what other things?
What
So
are
I
the
guess for
things that
me,
need to happen?
one thing that I have really struggled with thinking about this is just like I don't have any sort of consistency, and I haven't got any sort of consistency. I think I will do going forwards, but I have really been like very, suddenly it's a pandemic, suddenly you're moving countries, suddenly you decide like we're going to release a series. I don't have a system, so it feels like I can't possibly make rules for myself.
Yes.
So even things like when to put a box set out, I don't have a rule for myself. Like it should always come out just before book 4, or it should always come out 6 months after the last book in the box set. I've heard those rules, but I don't have any for myself because it doesn't relate to anything else. So say I
Yeah.
put a box set out for books 1 to 3, I think it's sort of general consensus, not necessarily true, but like a lot of people say it, that box set reads are different from regular readers, regular book readers. I do think that's true actually, because I think I didn't get as much read through as I would have expected from my box set to book 4 of my first series. And I think actually the problem there is I don't have box set of 4, 5, 6 because I don't have 6. Um, so what what I could do is say, okay, I won't release the box set until I've got at least 4 and 5 done, because then 6 is coming and the next box set will be on the way. I don't know. Is that useful? Who knows? I don't have any rules because I don't have any consistency, which is not fantastic. But I would like to, and I would like to get a sense of: am I going to do finite series, rapid release in future? Am I going to do ongoing series forever and just continue this series? I don't know, and that's what maybe stops me thinking about like what are my actual months, because
Yeah.
often I'm really just publishing as fast as I humanly can, like as much as I
Yeah.
can get in. That's my publishing schedule. It's not based on anything sensible aside from how much work can I do without dying.
Yeah.
That's the amount of work that I do.
And it's like, and we try and publish like the full set as quickly as possible. So the first 3 in a series is like, you feel like it's so important to get those out that actually, if you slowed down that process, if you didn't release those, if you like released the first 3 in a series on a longer timeline, you'd have a bit more space to do in between stuff. So even though that seems like it's the opposite, because you want to have your books coming out and you want to slot things in between, that seems like that's more work. And if you elongated the time, would that be easier? Like I'm just like just spitballing here.
Yeah, and I think there's a useful thing, because I think rapid release, I don't know how. I think it's got some benefits and some negatives. Like I think even my books that are very short, I think I can't tell now whether the read-through rate is the real read-through rate, or it's the read-through rate that is lower than it will really be because people do not actually want to read 3 books by, say, more than 3 months. That some of them have read book 1, they might have 2 and then not have read it yet, and be like, I'm going to read book 2 after I've caught up with some other series, and then I'll read 2 in a couple of months, and then I'll get 3. Or is it that?
Yeah.
I don't know. So maybe it's that I've not done it enough. Maybe it's that I don't have enough data. I don't know, but there's just like there's so many things to try and get data on.
How many people read a series full? This is the thing that I don't know as well, because with like young adult and fantasy, a lot of people will say, readers want to binge read a series. So you have to release a full series in order to see the sales coming through. But I don't know, like I haven't gathered that data myself, so I don't know if that's true, because personally for me
your
it's like,
books.
for my books, because I personally don't do that. I'm not somebody
Mm.
who checks to see if a series is complete before I pick it up. I'm the person that like picks up a book and then sees like, oh, it's going to be 2 years till the next book. I do this with TV shows as well. It's
And
a
we were
whole thing.
burned by Philip Pullman, you know, at a young age, and we're still giving him the benefit of the
Yes.
doubt. He is,
And there's a new book coming out, so
yeah.
who is laughing now? He taught me how to be patient with books, um, and I'm fine with that because I personally like delayed gratification. Maybe
Mm,
this is a thing where I am different from everyone else because delayed gratification isn't actually a thing in our society. It's instant gratification,
yeah.
and
That's my
but I
favorite gratification. Sounds good,
yes,
doesn't it?
and like,
Instant.
it's the opposite for me. I've actually said to my ghost boyfriend recently that I'm going to start practicing instant gratification because, and I know, like, as though like I'm being a rebel, but because
Yeah, so hard.
I'm such a delayed gratification
Mm,
person that I think that I'm like holding things off in order to
mm,
feel the excitement like
yeah.
oozing towards me slowly. Um, and I think that maybe that holds me back in business as well because I think like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm can't
Don't
wait
want to
to
rush
break.
it.
Yeah, I don't want to
Yeah.
rush my superstardom. I'm gonna
Mm,
work slowly towards it. So that's like a whole thing. But so I don't personally wait for a series to be finished to read it.
mm.
Do other people? Is that true? I don't know. Um, so
I don't know,
it's
like generally I
difficult.
think writers are not say similar to readers in many ways. So
Mm,
I find it really hard to figure out what people are going to want or even to sort of interpret the data because lots of things you could interpret multiple ways and it's not it feels like a lot of guesswork in self-publishing.
hmm
So yeah, so I think we're sort of sort of topic, but I think sort of these are the many areas which stop us being able to kind of have that consistent plan.
hmm
Because also I know a couple of people who've done this, but I find it really hard the concept of being like, okay, my first series is going to be this. I'm going to write 8 books in it. I'm going to market it this way. And it just takes so much confidence and like so much certainty and like a sense of assessment of things that I just don't have.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to be confident. Like my first series, I've written 5 books and like a novella and a short story set in it, but actually I possibly would have been better just doing a couple and then moving on.
yeah.
Um, and or maybe it would have been better doing more and marketing it more. Who
hmm
knows?
I
I've got
know,
no
but we've
idea.
talked about this. We talked about this recently on our mastermind day, where we talked about coming together and planning a series together.
Mm,
And I feel like that's like our next step in our business, like both of us, is because I know that I will write a book, the first book. I'll have the idea for the first book, and
mm,
that's the thing that I'm passionate about, and I get super swept up in it, and I don't think about the story that's going to come after it.
yeah.
I just assume I'll figure it out as I go, which I do, and it always works out. And my imagination is the best part about me. I'm always like, I feel like I don't struggle with coming up with the next thing, but I've also never tested myself to see if I could plan a series from start to
Mm,
finish in one planning session. Well, not one planning session, but like before I've started. And this kind of feels like it's tied to that, in that if
mm,
you have an idea for a series, and probably people who do this already are thinking like, yeah, obviously, like,
yeah,
what
of
are you talking
course.
about? But we come at these things in a very different way, so leave
Hmm.
us to it. Yeah, if I have an idea for a series, I do want to getting to that point where I think, okay, well, this is what the cold open will be, this is what the first book will be, and then between these
Hmm.
books I'm going to do this, and I want to have the whole business model of that series planned out,
Yeah.
and feel like it's a well thought out, like a well-oiled machine that I can copy that process every single time,
Mm,
and I know when I start a new series, this is going to be the process. And because that way you can manage your time. I know I can see as you've got a cat's tail in your face.
sorry.
But it's just like for time management, for production management,
Mm,
for projection, cost projecting,
yeah.
everything to do with business. It feels like that's where we should be, but it seems like a big daunting task,
Hmm.
and
I
that's
I
scary.
think we're at a stage now where we have enough information to do that big daunting task. I do think
Mm.
I have been hard on myself? I don't know. Can you be too hard on yourself? Uh, I've been hard on myself for not knowing stuff I couldn't possibly know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a big part of self-publishing, right? Is like this sense
Yeah.
of like yeah, you follow these rules and you publish a book series and then you make money. What
Hmm.
idiot couldn't do that? And that's not everyone's attitude. That's obviously what I take from it because that's my own mindset issue.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I hear that, and like you can hear what you want to hear. So
Hmm.
that is the thing that I take from it. But it definitely does feel like I have had to publish several series to figure out the many different moving parts. So
Hmm.
like they may publish my first series, is just figuring out things like covers and uploading and reviews, like literally like mechanics of things. My second series is figuring out like, oh, I thought this was to market, it's not to market. Now I get a sense of how to write a book to market. My third series has been like how to write a book to market and what referees is like. But it's like those are tons of things I've learned. I could not
Yeah.
possibly have learned all those things with one book series.
No.
And so now I've got all those things in place. I know how all the different parts work and how my timing works and what throws me off my timing and how previously I've not left time for things like getting sick or the pandemic,
Hmm.
life getting in the way. Uh, and that meant that I was instantly thrown off my plan and then I couldn't get back on it because I was like, well, I've planned it the next year and now my plan is gone. But now I feel like I know enough that I can schedule things in. And in fact, this year I planned the first half and then I penciled the second half and then I changed the pencil half second half and that was fine. And that I think is a useful way for me. It's like plan 6 months ahead and pencil in the next six,
Hmm.
knowing that things might move by a couple of months, but they haven't moved by a lot. And really, they were just really overly ambitious. And I had basically planned to have like a sliding doors life where I would write two books at once with no capacity to do that. Like nothing about my life was going to change apart from the fact that I would write two books rather than one book, um, which obviously that's not a thing. So I have got past that and I can make my schedule better next time. And then I will really know when the between months are.
Hmm.
And I will think about scheduling things like, okay, I know I want something that month. Is it going to be a box set or is it going to be a promo? Is it going to be an audiobook? Which I never do audiobooks because it's another thing to do. And also, generally, I think I don't sell enough books to warrant audio.
Hmm.
But I could plan to do that and like invest in it and just make that my next stage of investment and figure out what I would need to do to be successful at it. Um, and oh, sorry, I've just lost my headphone. And yeah, and just figure that in. And there's tons of things you could do, right? So there's things like promoting audio. You could have a month where you discount backlist. You could have a box set release. And I just do all those things so haphazardly as to be
Yeah.
sporadic. I hope not
Yes.
sporadically, but always sporadically.
Yes, agreed. I do the same thing where I think, oh, this month I'll do a discount, or this month I will promote this book, but it is very hit or miss whether I do it like this month or next month. It's never month after month. It's just
Mm,
whenever I feel like it or have the thought, because I'm such a have a thought and do it person. I know that's one of my good personality traits, but also one of my
mhm,
bad ones, because it does mean that I am very quick to jump on things, like jump on ideas and stuff, and that's really helpful. But it also means that I don't forward plan; I just react. And
mhm,
like we're talking in our mastermind about, you 5 years in the future, looking back, what did you do to get to where you are? And I really struggle with that because
mhm,
I don't even think 2 weeks in the future, as
mhm.
we know by looking at my planner, where you're shocked that I don't write things in my planner until like the week before,
It's just empty for months ahead.
because I don't forward project myself, and
Mhm,
that's just like me being free spirited and stuff, but also at the same time I just hate the thought of the future because I'm just a now person. Um, but that's obviously not great if you're running a business. You
mhm,
need to be projecting what you're going to do and making plans. So
mm.
I know that, and it's all up here. I'm just waiting for it to
You're pointing at
trickle
your
out.
head for people who are
Yeah,
listening in
sorry,
the
sorry.
audio medium of podcasts.
It's all up in my brain, and I'm waiting for that to trickle through to the physical world. Which is
Mm.
what I'm often waiting for, is for the thoughts in my head to come out into the world.
Can you now understand why I was shocked earlier to learn that you have a business studies A level? That was like most of your A levels is doing business studies.
Yes, I know, but I
Because I
was
can't
great at
imagine
it.
that was something you learned. Was like just let the thought come to your head and then wait for it to trickle down. That's what they did at
No,
Coca-Cola. That's
but
what you should do too.
when you're doing business studies at school, things are immediate. It's just like, make a business plan. Now you've made a business plan, start running the business. And so I was great at it because everything was there and then. It wasn't like, we're going to do a business plan and in 6 months you're going to run that business, because
Yeah, you
I
have to
would
follow
have.
it regardless of what's happened in your life.
Yes, yeah. So that would have definitely highlighted to the teachers that I can't follow through on things that you set in the future. It's set it now or don't set it at all.
Would
Yeah.
it maybe be helpful for you to then just have like a list of like between launch promo things? And we use the word promo
Mm-hmm.
as quite liberally, like literally anything
Yeah.
that is like instead of a launch. So rather
Mm-hmm.
than scheduling those things in, would it be useful to have a list of like, okay, I know I'm only going to have 2 launches a year, so I need 10 other things, and I just have to tick those
Yes.
off and I have to do one a month.
Yeah. I do need that. I need to put that on my calendar because you can't see this, but the big wall calendar that I look at all the time actually doesn't have anything written on it other than what, like, when
Happy
I've
New
got to
Year!
Happy New Year, yeah, my birthday circled. I actually don't have my birthday circled.
My birthday's not
And
on mine either.
like I just know my birthday. But I have like when I've got to send a book to an editor, when I've got to send my cover, and I've got my production dates are on there, but not like anything else. And mostly because like the boxes are quite small and it's difficult to. I have quite big writing. But yeah, I don't do that, but this calendar is like a perfect thing to write that on because I could just write underneath the month of like the months are like all down the side. I could just write underneath the month what the promo is that month. Like I could just write it on there. And
Yeah.
when I have it written down, I'm really great at sticking to a list. Me and my to-do lists are famously great. If I have a to-do list,
I've seen today's. It looked good.
I get it done. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. I just need to, I need to have these two things join up of my personality. I need my to-do list, Sam, to take control over my don't want to project into
Calendar
the
Sam.
future, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need them to have like a battle, and I need the good one to win.
Or maybe they have like a battle and they emerge together.
Oh yes, they merge together. That's probably better. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just thinking that. Yeah, they merge together. I need to create a better Sam from all of my parts. I've got
But
too
we're
many
always
multiple
creating better versions of
personalities.
ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were saying this at the weekend of like, think because we had our mastermind at the weekend, was like, I cannot believe who I was a year ago. Like I feel right
Mm.
now, like, oh gosh, there's still so much to do and so much to learn and so much I don't do properly. But it's like me a year ago was miles behind where I am now.
So behind.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Sucks.
Yeah.
She sucks. Don't listen to Isabel podcast. She was rubbish. But
She
do because you'll
wasn't.
get to hear the progress.
She only knew what she knew. This is the thing.
Yeah.
Like you only know what you know, and when you learn stuff, you become better and you move on. So we have learned so much in the last year that we are being hard on ourselves because this time next year, even though I can't imagine myself there,
Who could
but
that
this
be?
time next year, who like hopefully she's like got pink in her hair because at the moment I don't. Future Sam and future Matilda are going to be looking back at this episode and thinking, what were we talking about? It was
You
so
fools.
easy. Yeah, like you figured it out. Once you had the conversation, you figured it out and
Yeah.
that was it. So I'm going to not beat myself up too much about being a little bit behind in this or feeling like I'm behind, because now that we're having the conversation and putting it out into the universe and having other people hear us have this conversation kind of means that we can't shy away from it now, which was
Yeah.
the whole point of doing a mastermind and the whole point of doing a podcast is that when someone's watching you do something, you kind of have to do it, otherwise it's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I will
then
not
they'll
be
know we're fools.
humiliated.
No. So yeah, and I think for me, what's really highlighted like the importance of this is like doing a rapid release, having a thing to talk about every month. It's like, oh, I can promote myself because I've got a thing to promote. And between launch, you're like, what am I promoting now? My social media is not really promoting my books. It's just like me. Sometimes the books are in the background, but I'm not talking about the books enough. Whereas I could be, right? I could be like, oh, book 3's been out a month. Here's the best reviews of them. Here's book 1 on discount. And I haven't got any plan for when I'm going to discount book 1, and I don't know when that would be. It's interesting. Storm Publishing, who are like a new digital publisher. I mean, relatively new digital publisher. I think it's set up by the same person that made Bookouture, someone who's offshoot from that. They do really quick releases. So like they did Ellie Alexander's books where they had book 1 and 2 out on the same day. They did Ben Brown's books and he had books out really quickly. And they do full price release at like $2.99 and then discount like 2 weeks later to 99p or 99 cents. Which I, as a reader, again, this is where writing different to readers. As a reader, I'd feel really annoyed. But
Mm-hmm.
but you don't, I'm guessing, because you think, oh, I got to get it first. And to me, that feels like you need to have quite a level of audacity to be like, people will be so excited to read my book, they'll want it 2 weeks early and £2 more expensive.
Yeah.
Whereas I still feel in a state of like gratitude that anyone wants to read my books.
Mm-hmm.
Even though this week I'm going to spice up this because I need to say positive things about my book because like someone made a little YouTube video where they were like, Matilda Swift, my
Oh,
favorite cozy author, and I'm reading
yeah.
her book over the phone to my mum who's blind. I was like that, like
And they
I need to be more
both
confident
love
and I
it.
need to, yeah.
And they're going and they're
And they're going to
going
make the
to
cake from it.
they're not only going to make a cake, she's going to bring her mum onto her video and they're going to
Yeah,
film a video specifically about your book. They're going to make the cake and eat it and talk about it just because they love you so much.
yeah.
That
Well,
is
she got my book
fantastic.
from an advert, so it's like I need to be more out there,
Mm.
you know, sharing my book with people who are going to find it and love it.
Mm-hmm.
And it can just be really discouraging if you're just thinking about like an abstract concept of reader. But it's like if I'm not talking about my book right now because I'm between launches, there are people who are not hearing about it.
Yeah.
And there might be people on my newsletter who they only joined recently, they've not heard about any of the backlist books, and they might really love those books and want to read them. Um, and that's doing those people a disservice.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I just need to get better at figuring out like what I can do. And I need to kind of combine that sense of audacity with organization. Those are the two Matildas I need, is the audacious one who
Yes.
says like,
Yeah.
people will get mad if I discount my book because they love reading it when they got it. And the one who is doing the organized marketing plans. They're harder to have a fight. I think they're quite tricky to get together and meld together. But yeah, but I think it would be useful as well for us to think about like what are literally the list of things. So if you had to put 10 things on your planner, on your
Mm-hmm.
wall chart because you've got 10 slots to fill, what are they?
Mm-hmm.
So things I would think about is a box set. And that's easy for you because you've got 3 books. And like once the series is complete, you're not waiting for like a 4th book to be ready. As soon as you've got
Yeah.
the 3rd, maybe you can make a box set. Depends on how big the discount would be for the box set. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, I was thinking about this the other day, actually. I've got projected read through for advertised books where my books go ladder pricing, so essentially £3, £4, £5, the same in dollars. But I project that you have a 50% read through from book 1 to 2 from an advertised book, and then 80% from 2 to 3. And in fact, if you add that up, you end up with something I think like £6 for selling book 1. But if I make a box set for £10, that's costing me that's a benefit because I
Mm-hmm.
always thought like, oh, I don't want to put a box set too soon because it's cheaper than the books, so you don't want to lose money, but actually you make money in a box set because people are
Yeah.
obliged to buy 3 books in one.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to think more strategic like that, and literally say, okay, book 3 is ready, make a box set. Why
Yeah.
not? And I actually might make a box set of the paperback because the books are relatively thin, they would fit in a paperback box set. And my cover designer is cheap enough that I could get a nice cover made for that.
Mm-hmm.
And she does the paperback and the ebook together as one price. So why not? Again, why not?
Mm-hmm.
So things that I have got on my list are making a box set, putting out a prequel. So that's a promo thing. So I'm doing that this year. Some sort of discount. And really, I think I would need to have multiple discounts basically to kind of fill more gaps. So if I know I've got 7 books this year, but one of those is the prequel already. So if I've got 6 books this year, I need to fill 6 gaps, and one would be box set. But then that means a 5 discounts. That's a lot of discounts. That feels too much. What are other things we could do for between launch promos, assuming that I'm not going to instantly start doing audiobooks, which is
Yeah, I
probably
think
not.
I don't know whether like I need to do some research on this, but I often hear people talking about, maybe because this is the algorithm that I'm in, but as somebody who has ADHD, people talk a lot about ADHD friendly books. And you can have ADHD friendly printing in books, and with my genre being very specifically more female, more of a female readership, and women are being diagnosed in the droves because obviously we've
Mhm.
been overlooked for so many years. I kind of sometimes think about capitalizing on that and trying to do an ADHD friendly
Mhm.
version of my series.
I forgot I'm going to do large print because a lot of my
Large
readers,
print.
I'm selling a lot more paperbacks than I
Yes.
expected, and a lot of my readers are older, and the books are quite
Hmm.
short, so the actual print copy is not too big. I could do a large print paperback, and
Yep.
yeah, I could talk about that as a between launch promo. I've got another launch of
Yep.
large print books, and in
Yes.
fact, another thing to talk about today was alternative covers. It turns out, I learned
Alternative
today, you can
covers.
have two paperback
Yes.
covers on Amazon. So why not do like
Yes.
special editions?
I would love to do an alternate cover. I also sometimes toy with the idea of maybe trying to do hardbacks for my books
Mhm.
because within the genre, like people kind of like hardbacks for fantasy books. That would
Why
mean
toying? What would that mean?
the only reason that I don't know, like I just don't know how easy it is to sort out the covers and stuff. I think once I do one, obviously, then I'll understand the process. But it's just a bit of an educational stumbling block where I know I'm going to have to look into it. I don't yet know if in the indie verse hardbacks do well. I'm not sure, so I need to do some digging and see if people are benefiting, if it's like benefiting people. And if it is, then I'll do it because it's always been on my want to do list that hardbacks would be really fun. But I don't know, like I don't know how nice Amazon's hardback books are and stuff. So it's just a maybe.
Can't think that I've seen one, but you might
Yeah,
as well try it and
exactly.
get a proof
Yeah.
copy.
So yeah, I think I'll
I
probably
imagine
get a
it's
proof
like all of
copy.
5 minutes research.
Yeah, it probably won't take long for me.
Yeah.
Having it like I just need to put on one of my to-do lists and then I'll do it.
Hmm.
But which
This will
to-do
be on our
list I
bashing
don't
day
know.
as well. I think we need a to-do list of
Yeah.
like things that a bit like our challenge week stuff, like things that
Mhm.
we just don't want to do by ourselves
Mhm.
fundamentally. But it's not
Yeah.
like a learn something. It's like I just don't. I need someone to sit and hold my hand while I do it and feed me Toblerone. Um, yes. So releasing different editions or versions,
Mhm.
such as like a special edition cover. Where like obviously other people do like a Kickstarter, but a small version of that is just having a special edition paperback that you literally put on Amazon. You can have two paperback versions.
Yeah.
Um, and you could even do it to celebrate like, oh, book three's out, so book one's got an alternative cover
Mhm.
that has like a special color on the front or like has a little Easter egg on the front. Like that's a thing to put in, which like presumably your cover designer wouldn't charge you a full cover cost to do. It would be quick and easy to do.
Mhm.
So yeah, alternative covers, box sets, pardon me, discounts.
Mhm.
What else?
Ooh, promos. What did I write
Mm,
in my list? I don't think I wrote anything that was helpful or beneficial. Just like discounts and stuff and short stories because I do like the idea of doing short stories from other characters' points of views, which does work for my
mhm.
genre. For your genre, I know that you're a bit hesitant that's not really something that people want.
I've
For
done
young
it. I just don't think
adults,
it's beneficial enough
hmm
for the time it takes up my schedule.
yeah, yeah. For young adult slash fantasy,
Hmm.
that's something that people love is to do a little novella from a different person's point of view,
Hmm.
and I would like to build that in. In fact, today I did do a little bit of planning for two different character point of views within this series, so that it's just a little bit of extra stuff whilst I'm waiting to release
Hmm.
a new book. And I'm hoping to try and get one of them done in the next couple of months just for fun.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's like something that if I want to see how long I still don't know how long it takes me to write shorter because this is still something that I struggle
Hmm.
with my belief in myself. So once I know how long it takes me to do that comfortably, then I think I could put that into a schedule for a
Hmm.
promo thing, maybe, hopefully. But what else could we do? I feel like I'm not thinking of something really obvious.
I think it's tricky in terms of like it's got to be something that when we say promo, it's not just for your newsletter. Like you could write a free short story for your newsletter, but like that's not
Mm,
necessarily going to be a big bump for your backlist or front list, whatever we can say.
yeah, maybe like a giveaway. A giveaway would be a fun thing to do 1 month.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I
a
mean,
quick
even
and
like
easy thing.
I am trying to not regularly do book funnel promos.
Hmm.
Um, and then I think when I do them, I just sort of slip in my newsletter and make a big enough deal out of it. We talked last podcast, sorry, last episode, about wanting to do like more special standalone things in my newsletter. So have things like a reader survey. So could we do something like, have like a big like I do only promos in the month of. June or September or something, I do like a big round of promos in that month, and but it's just free promos from BookFunnel. You can even run your own promo that's on like a really specific niche topic. So, for example, my new series is set in Yorkshire, and there are bizarrely more and more books set in Yorkshire, like crazy mystery set in Yorkshire. It could even be non-cozy, so I could do something really niche and make my own BookFunnel promo of like all books set in Yorkshire and center it around a certain anniversary, or something, just so I can gather people who I think, oh, I know you love the setting. Maybe you wouldn't be like a whale reader of cozies, so you might not have found my books normally, but like you might want to read them. And I think I'm not saying I would necessarily do that, but I'm saying like I can imagine for some people that's not an enormous amount of work. That's something that's maybe in their genius zone. They like organizing, they like kind of getting something fun and different together. Oh, you know what we haven't thought about is like book boxes. So you've got your like promo boxes sent out to TikTokers.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That I think you could have like a concerted effort of saying, I'm going to do a month where I target 10 people
Mm-hmm.
and I get them to all do it, and I share it on my social media. And that's like, this is my like book talker February. It needs a
Mm-hmm.
catchy name that, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, book talk of February. Yeah, that sounds fun.
That's what the kids will call it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that I like. I kind of overlook that because I feel like I'm doing that on the sly in the background, like it's a bit of
Yeah.
guerrilla
I think we do a lot
marketing.
of stuff on the sly.
Yeah, or yeah, like things that don't need to be so secret. You just are just tootling away at them, not talking
Mm,
about it. But that is a huge deal for me because the last time I did that, I really saw a great influx in book sales and just like other people talking about my books and commenting on other people's posts saying, "Oh wow, that book looks amazing," and just getting into the stratosphere
mm-hmm.
of that part of like Instagram and TikTok. So that's, yeah, it should definitely be on the list as book boxes. I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I had a thought about something else before and now I can't think what it was. It was something to do with emails. Oh, it was
But it was
because
good.
it was great. I am in my young adult Discord group. I am
Mm-hmm.
trying to encourage people to, because actually like a few people in the group don't have email subscribers and stuff, so I'm constantly trying to get them to make email lists.
Oh,
But
you're such a bully. Who would
I
do that?
know, it's such a bully. But I last month or the month before, I a few of us in the group did a little cross posting on our social media
Mm,
things where we did vibe pictures and we all posted them, and that was a really nice promo to do because that got us in front of our other comp authors readership, and that was really good
mm.
and really easy and such a fun and easy thing to put together. So utilizing connections that I already have, which was really nice. And
Yeah, on
yeah,
that
like
topic, like some other authors like a round robin, so they
mm-hmm,
get together in a group of 12 a year, and they every month they share a specific person's everyone shares one person's book. So if you and I went in round robin, January could be my month, and everyone's going to promote my book in January. That would
mm-hmm,
be my January thing. Um, so I think maybe what I just need to do is more things like that, because I sort of got stuck in the idea of like, oh, just a discount, is that a thing?
mm-hmm,
But like, I can't be, I don't have hundreds of books. I can't be discounting a different book every month. But I mean, it could be right as well. That's the thing I could be doing, but I just don't feel like that's the thing.
mm-hmm,
I want more. I'm at a stage where I want more variety. I want to be researching different things still and kind of getting more experience and data. So I think I need to get my big wall calendar down again and look at the months in which I've got nothing, which includes this month.
mm-hmm.
Though maybe if I can get Amazon to sort out my account with the issue with the Kindle Countdown deal, it could be a book bub. That could be the thing this month,
Yeah.
but not until Amazon sorts things out. But so that would be a thing this month, and then in June, I still need something. I think in July, I've got a prequel coming out. September, I've got a book coming out. And I think December, I've got maybe November, I've got a book coming out. So I just need a few more things to fit in. And I just need to
Mm-hmm.
get on it, not just think like they'll probably just appear or maybe next month.
Yeah, I'll
I
just
think,
feel it out.
yeah, I think these could, this is the next thing that I need to be doing to kind of level up a little bit.
Yeah.
So, did you have any other suggestions or thoughts?
No, I am thoughtless now.
Yeah,
They're
I
all
think
out.
we've had all the world's good thoughts today. That felt like a
Yes.
lot of good thoughts, and hopefully has given people some good ideas as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next week we've got a real thinking topic. We are talking about mindset,
Mm-hmm.
and we've narrowed this down. So that was our kind of original topic we put on the list, and then in our mastermind day yesterday, we're trying to narrow this down, and we realized that actually the topic we really want to cover is like things we need to go to therapy for, but we don't. We neither have the time nor inclination nor money to sort all these things in therapy. We might just narrow it
Yeah.
down to a few things for the
Mm-hmm.
conversation. So do you have any initial thoughts on what we need to go to therapy for?
Yes, I call this on my planet my two wolves, and I think
Yes.
I think that everybody will, as soon as you think like, oh, what two wolves live inside me, I think those two wolves that you immediately think of are the things that you need to go to therapy for. Your first initial thought, yeah, that's what you need
Mm,
therapy for. So yeah, I have actually multiple wolves inside of me, but I
hmm
have two very specific ones that I'm going to talk about in the next episode, which I'm not going to give away right now because
Oh,
obviously
okay.
cliffhanger.
Yeah. But yeah, they are mindset related ones.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I think I don't have two specific ones I want to talk about. I think I've got a lot of things that are maybe we've talked about before and I just want to kind of revisit them. But also, I
Mm-hmm.
think there are more things that I. Mm, I'm not quite sure I can articulate yet. I definitely want to have a bit of thinking about it. I'll be doing this at the start of my retreat in Greece, on Greek island, guys. I haven't mentioned this.
Oh,
Um, but
okay,
hopefully that
that's
while
your
I'm there, I'm going to have
last
some sort of.
mention.
It is my last mention, yes. I will have some sort of epiphany though while I'm there
Mm.
under the sun, yeah, with my
Okay,
toes in the sand.
got it.
Yeah, and I think I started to have this epiphany today. I think I need to think bigger, and I think I need to think of myself as being able to deserve something bigger, and being capable of something bigger. And at the moment, I think I can't articulate what is in the way of me doing that because even though at the start of this chat, offline when we first came on the call, I was like
Mm-hmm.
full of enthusiasm and excitement about this big idea I've got.
Mm-hmm.
I can see myself finding ways to water it down and to make it like smaller and more palatable and to stand up to questions from people. Because if people ask me questions like, "Oh, that doesn't sound like it's quite cozy," I'm like, "Oh yeah, I should change that."
Mm-hmm.
But I want to be bigger in myself to be able to feel like I'm making these decisions for a purpose and I know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
even if the thing I know I'm doing is just like experimenting and swinging big. And
Yeah.
I'm not a confident person in that area.
No, no, I think I look forward to talking about that with you because I think the thing that you're talking about is amazing, and
Me too.
I want you to go big and not go home. I want you to go big and
Mhm.
then go bigger. So
And then buy a bigger home
and then buy a bigger home.
to go home
Yes.
to.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about
hmm Yeah, and I think this is a good topic for us to revisit quite regularly. Obviously, like mindset, we both agree is like the key.
that. Yeah.
It's the thing that holds us back. I mean, just like today's episode was mostly about mindset, really about like
Hmm.
not thinking that. Really, it's like not thinking our business is worthy of enough thought to plan ahead.
Hmm.
And some of it is just time as well, right? Like I'm tired. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
This is the third podcast we recorded this weekend, and I've
Hmm.
also edited half a book this weekend. Um, I've done a lot, and I am going to go to sleep after this. Uh, I say that, but I've got more work to do. But no, I'm going to go to sleep and get up early tomorrow morning. But
Okay.
but yeah, some of it is just like there's just only so much you can do. But I think I need to put more energy in the right places and feel like I deserve to spend that energy in that way. So I will look forward to this conversation on mindset. As a reminder to everyone, please see the show notes for our Discord link. Join the Discord where we keep the conversation going. We have a question of the week every week that is related to the topic of the podcast. So this week's one will be about module between launch promos, which I think we've had something similar to that, but I think I want to get really specific on this and give some examples and get some more ideas back. Because I think we've got a good mix of authors in there who should have some ideas that we have not thought of.
Yeah.
Also in the show notes, the link to our coffee. You can just throw a few pounds or dollars or whatever your currency is in there. It's like that bin at the airport of any old currency. I'm sure you can chuck in.
Hmm.
We will use it to buy coffee. We will turn money into caffeine, and that will help us stay awake more to make more podcasts and improve our mindsets. So we'll appreciate that. We will look forward to speaking to you again soon, and we hope you join us next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You've been listening to Pen to Paycheck Authors.
Stay tuned for our next episode, and don't forget to subscribe to learn how to write your way to financial success.